The role of women in the military world has quite a long history. A number of women even played various roles in the military world, not only going into dangerous zones. A number of women who were recruited by the military were also assigned to a number of missions, including as spies. Even it's not uncommon for their combat abilities to exceed the average ability of men. Now talking about women's troops, here is a list of 6 elite women's troops that are currently recognized by the world. If you're curious, come on, let's get straight to it. Check out our video below. Russian Army, elite Russian female soldiers. Perhaps the term download bridge cover applies to Russian female soldiers with beautiful appearances and fantastic body shapes that will be different when advancing on the battlefield. Russian female troops are famous for their mental crimes. Their military tactical and strategic abilities have been tested since First World War and Second World War. They were in the ranks of the greatest military in history who were always involved in great patriotic activities. Until now, the Russian military's female special forces are still recognized as the most dangerous and deadliest combat soldiers in the world. Even one Russian female soldier named Lyudmila Mikhailovna Pavlichenko became one of the best snipers in the world. The number of missions she was successful in killing in combat was recorded at 309 people. History: since the Soviet Union was founded, female troops played a significant role in the war, both on the front lines and as spies. South Korea, Special Force 7 Hero 7 Special Mission Battalion 711 Special Mission Battalion, is a special troop unit, South Korea's best fighter. This battalion itself strictly selects its members from each force unit, so each member is trained to black belt level in Taekwondo or other martial arts, fighting in and OS. Walking on sharp rocks while hands tied behind the back is mandatory food for these soldiers. Now talking about the Army's abilities, South Korean women are so far superior that their ferocity is nicknamed the White Tiger. Indonesian female Kopassus soldiers. Kopassus soldiers are selected figures who have above-average abilities. To be able to get the proud Red Beret in command brevet, Kopassus soldiers have to go through various special training which is said to be almost beyond the limits of human ability, even though it is said to be very difficult. Who would have thought that Kopassus also had super female soldiers, with abilities that are no less great than male soldiers? Just like female soldiers in several countries, Indonesian female soldiers also have deadly skills that make anyone shrink. Their self-defense abilities and mastery of internal energy are beyond doubt, and apart from that, their parachuting skills have also received recognition from the world, even being sent to become a UN security force in Lebanon. Australian Force Commander. Just like Israel, since the 80s Australia has allowed women to join military units, although there are still limitations in certain units such as not being allowed to enter infantry and tank battalions, and only in 2013, the Australian federal government has allowed the freedom to register in all units. So far there have been more than 87 female soldiers who have qualified for the Special Anti-Terror Forces, namely the Force Commander Regiment. Meanwhile, many regular troops have been assigned to Afghanistan, and there are more than the number of NATO soldiers or United States soldiers. What's even more amazing is that when the Taliban conflict occurred, many Australian women were placed on the front lines to fight with the militants. German Special Command Key, Kraftek Special Force Command Quando, Special Crews is a unit, elite special forces military, organized from the Hasselhoff Division. This elite troop has been tested a lot, toughness and gain a lot, award from the United States NATO, and its affiliates for their roles, overcoming terrorism occurring in the East, Middle, cold-blooded beauty. No, talking a lot is a characteristic of German women's troops. Their slogan, in combat 1 bullet for 1 lives, well that's how many troops there are. Elite women reach 1,000 people, many of these have joined the unit, female Air Force fighter. United States Army, United States, since Revolution work or war, revolution is raging in Uncle Sam's country, women's troops are one of the armies, who contributed to the chaos in that country, unlike the male troops, whose identity is easy to identify, enter the very women of the United States, skilled when it comes to serving as spying or doing errands, undercover in 2012, troops. Women in the United States are estimated to 14% of the total troops in the country's armed forces. In addition, women's troops, the United States is equipped with the newest and most military technology, sophisticated and become one of them most feared military in the world.